Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I don't remember the last time I did a video on this channel. I've kind of taken a hiatus from gaming stuff. Until recently, I've gotten into TCG stuff. My roommate, he got me into playing Magic again. I had a deck when I was a kid, but I never really got into it because of how complex it is. But I started building two commander decks. I'm building an Aloro Ageless Ascetic EDH life gain deck, and then I'm building an Assassin's Creed deck. And that's kind of what we're going over today. And bear with me, I'm a little sick. Allergies, stuff like that. So, I'm going to try my best not to cough on camera here, but you never know what will happen. So we're going to go, I have the Assassin's Creed Starter Pack. We're going to go over it in this video. And I have something special that I just got today as well. So we're going to go over these and take a closer look. So, yeah, we have the Learn to Play Magic card. I mean, pretty basic. You get those with every card pack that you own. This is kind of like a on your turn. It's kind of like a little instruction information sheet that you can use for, whenever you need a little recap on what to do when you play Magic. But this is the bad boy that I bought today. He's kind of expensive. He's around $50, but he's worth every penny. I love the artwork. Ezio is my favorite assassin in all of Assassin's Creed. I have played Assassin's Creed for many, many years. I played all the way back to Assassin's Creed 2. It was my very first Assassin's Creed game, and it will always be my favorite Assassin's Creed game. So this card specifically has a lot of nostalgic value to me, and I am making a deck surrounding this guy, basically, for Commander. It's going to be 5 mana, because he gets control of 5 mana, whether that's the white, the water, the dark. I don't even know the names. I'm pretty new to Magic, but what a great way to kind of get back into it, than to build some decks that offer a nostalgic punch in the gut. I'm very excited. I love this card. As you can see, the artwork is pretty nice. This isn't foil, but nevertheless, I love the artwork. It's great. Ezio's looking mighty awesome. Kind of hanging over there, about to do the leap of faith. This is a legendary creature, human assassin. It is orange or gold or whatever you want to call it, which indicates that it is a mythic rarity. He is 1 colorless mana and 1 undead. This is what they call borderless in Magic. You can get like foil, you can get borderless, you can get, I don't even know what you would call some of them. There's a lot of different card types in Magic, but he's a 3/2 creature. He has Menace. Assassin spells you cast have free running, which is great. Free running is a special ability that assassins kind of have. Basically, if you damage a player, you can tap a certain amount of mana and basically play the card for cheaper. And that can stack, so you can do it for many cards. You can make a deck based on free running if you wanted to. Mine's kind of based on free running, but I'm also going kind of in a different direction. It's going to be called, I think, history artifacts, or history stuff. So basically, all the creatures in this deck specifically are going to be considered like a history monument or something like that. And then they're going to get extra bonus attack, power, whatever. And then that does a specific, set of crazy attributes and stuff like that. We'll get into it as I continue to build the deck, because I'm going to be doing this on the channel. This is going to be a whole thing. I'm just starting it out with this video. to kind of introduce myself on the channel again, because it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. And I believe this card is numbered. I think this might be a number down here. So it's numbered 113. So this is copy 113 of this card. So it's obviously expensive. It's a collector's card. It's in a card sleeve. I actually got it in the card sleeve. The card shop where I'm located had him sleeved up in a glass case. So he's kind of bougie, but he's a great card, guys. Whenever Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay. There's a specific acronym for this, but if you pay any of these, or a combination of all of these, if that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player loses the game, which is kind of crazy. But basically, what we use Ezio for as the commander is mostly the free running ability, because all of the assassins, for the most part, all contain and have free running. And that is going to be the attribute that we really use in the deck. So that is Ezio Auditore de Firenze. Love the borderless artwork. This is pretty great. This won't be the last time you see this guy. He'll be on the channel quite a bit as I build the deck more and as we get stuff rolling. But that's Ezio. And then here we have a half of the Assassin's Creed starter deck. This is the Fire in White combination. But we have a mountain here. We have a plains. Love the artwork. We have another mountain. We got some plains here. It's all going to be the same for the most part. And you can tell that these cards are from the Assassin's Creed set because they have the little Assassin's Creed symbol right here. And that basically lets you know which set that they're based on or that they were released in. But here we have Escarpment Fortress, which is a 5-mana creature. It's a wall, so it can't really attack. But it's a decent defender. It's just kind of expensive, so I don't know if I would actually use this in a commander deck. But this is included in the starter deck that they give you. This deck is completely pre-constructed, so Wizards of the Coast kind of made this, and they just sold it for 20 bucks and said, here you go, here's an introduction to Magic. For 20 bucks, so you can't really go wrong. And the deck that I'm building has a lot of the cards that are in here composed in that deck specifically too. So we'll get into that as those cards pop up. But next we have Settlement Blacksmith for 3 mana. It's a creature. When Settlement Blacksmith enters the battlefield, if you control an equipment, draw a card. So, you know, if you have an equipment that you're controlling that's on a creature on your battlefield, this is an easy way to draw a card and get more cards in your hands. It's not the greatest card, but it's not terrible either. It's kind of just eh. Here we have Raven Clan War Axe for 3 mana. It's an artifact, so it's an equipment. You can put this on any creature, basically. When Raven Clan War Axe enters the battlefield, you may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Ivor Battle Ready. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. And then the equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has Trample. And Trample is basically when... So the whole thing in Magic is when you attack, you're attacking the player. Unless the card specifically says to target a creature. You're going to be going and attacking the player, but the player can choose to block with a certain creature. And basically, this card right here, if you put it on, say, Ezio, for example, it's going to give him +2/+0, so he's going to go up to 5/2. He's going to do 5 damage, but he's going to have Trample, and what Trample does is when your opponent blocks, it's going to hit the creature, and then if there's leftover damage, it's going to go and hit the player after it kills the creature. Because whenever you go and you attack a creature, normally, no matter what the damage cost is, it'll just end there. It won't transfer to the player. So if they blocked it, they're good. Like, it's not going to hit them, which is kind of crazy. So this is a really good card. It's pretty nice. We have Keen-Eyed Raven for 3 mana. Flying, this creature can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. When Keen-Eyed Raven enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control. And this is a 2/2 for 3 mana. It's not great. The only reason why I would use this is because of the flying. It can't be blocked unless the opponent has reach on their creature. But we got Labyrinth Adversary, 4 mana, 4 fire mana specifically. This also has trample for a 4/3. So this is a better card in my opinion. It's only 4 mana for a 4/3. I mean, it's kind of steep, but it does have trample, so I think it's kind of worth it in that aspect. We have Spartan Veteran, Burrow Headmaster. This is a pretty good card. Only for 2 mana. It's a creature, first of all. Equipment spells you cast cost 1 less mana to cast. And equipped abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate. And then it has 2/2. It's a pretty good card. We got some more mana here. Gonna have lots of that in this deck. We got a Hookblade for 2 mana. It's an artifact. When Hookblade enters the battlefield, attach it to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. As long as it's your turn, equipped creature has flying. Equip 2 mana to attach to target creature you control. Not a great card in my opinion. I would rather run Hidden Blade, which we'll get into. That'll be in my deck. So whenever my cards come in, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about those. But I would rather run Hidden Blade than Hookblade here. I don't think the value is really there in the card. Labyrinth Adversary again. We got a Stone Quarry. This is what they call a dual colored land, or a double feature or something like that. So basically you can, if you tap this card, it can be considered a red or a white mana depending on what you want it to be. You have the option to pick, which is kind of cool. And it's got some pretty nice artwork on there too, which is pretty awesome. We have Misthios' Fury. This is a pretty crap card in my opinion. For 2 mana, it's an instant, so you can play this at any time. Misthios' Fury deals 3 damage to target creature. If you control an equipment, Misthios' Fury also deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. So what they mean by creature's controller is the player. So it would do the damage to not only the creature that your opponent is playing, but it will also do damage to them as well. We have another Burrow Headmaster here. I like the artwork on that card. Pretty cool. We got some planes. Well, 1 plane. We got another Burrow Headmaster. Look at that. We got another plane. Another Stone Quarry. Another Misthios' Fury. Oh, we got 2 of them right there. Look at that. We got another Raven Clan War Axe. Another Settlement Blacksmith. Here we go. Here is like the best card in the deck. I put that in quotation marks because it's, in my opinion, not really the best card in the deck. But it's the leader of the deck. It's, you know, what's advertised on the packaging. It's what gets you to buy this pack. So, Eivor Battle Ready. It is foil, if you can see that. It does glisten. So it is a foil. It is a mythic as well. It is a legendary creature. It has vigilance, so attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap every time you attack an opponent. Put an example down here. Every time you attack, you got to tap your card to signify that it's like resting. It's like charging. And then once your turn, once you know you have on your next turn, you can untap the card and you can play with it again. But for that remainder of the time, it's tapped. So basically, with vigilance here, it doesn't have to tap, which is kind of crazy and overpowered. But you know, but it also has haste, so it will. So basically, in Magic, there's a thing called Summoning Sickness. Every time you put a card down, you can't play it. It can't attack. It can't block. Well, it can actually block, but it can't attack for 1 turn. So haste allows it to attack right when you place it down. So as soon as you place the card down, you can tap it and attack, which is really a great ability to have on a card. The only thing is it's 5 mana, but honestly, I think it's a pretty good card. You can't go wrong. It's 5/5, so it does 5 damage and it has 5 health. And whenever Ivor Battle Ready attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipment you control to each opponent. So it's a pretty good card. The artwork is pretty cool. I was never a fan of Ivor personally, but Valhalla was just kind of mid. But it's a great card, nevertheless. We have a Stone Quarry here. We have an Ezio Brash Novus for 3 mana, or 2, because it's a dual. Whenever Ezio Brash Novus attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. As long as Ezio has 2 or more counters on it, it has First Strike and is an assassin in addition to its other types. And it also has 1/1. It's not that great of a card, but I do love Ezio, so I will always welcome a Ezio card. Look at that artwork with him kissing his lady friend there in the beginning of the game. We have Spartan Veteran for 1 mana. Battlefield Improvisation. This is an instant, so you can play it at any time. And the target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach any number of equipment you control to it. It's not the best card, but it has its uses. And again, it's the Valhalla artwork. It's pretty nice. It can be useful in certain decks. You just gotta be smart about how you build your decks. Next is Detained by Legionnaires. And this is an enchantment. Enchantments, once you place them down, once you pay the mana and play them, they last the entire game unless they're destroyed by an opponent. But it enchants creature, and the enchanted creature can't attack or block. This is very useful. There's another card in the other deck that is in the Assassin's Creed set called Tranquilize, and it basically does the same thing, but it does it for 3 turns. This is permanent, which is pretty cool. So the only way that the opponent would be able to attack you or block you with that specific creature that this is on is by destroying the enchantment. So for 2 mana, can't go wrong. Next is Towering Viewpoint for 2 colorless mana. It is a wall, so it can't attack, but it's there to block. So it's kind of like, I use these for security. You know, if I don't have a creature on the field and I have this, it's a last resort kind of thing. If I need to, it'll block the opponent's damage and we'll be fine. But it does have reach, so it can also block creatures with flying, which is pretty awesome. Leap of Faith, if you play 3 mana, target creature gains flying until end of turn. So it also gives flying to one of your other creatures, which is pretty awesome. We have another Detained by Legionnaires. Another one. We have a Head Splitter. This is a new card. So for 2 mana, it's an artifact. When Head Splitter enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with Menace, and attach Head Splitter to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, and then if you equip 2 mana, it attaches the target creature you control. Again, I don't really think this is a great card. It's useful in certain decks, but for 2 mana, all you're doing is creating a 1/1 token that can be easily killed. It has Menace, so, you know, it's got something. But for 2 mana, there's so many better cards you could use and play besides this one. If this was 1 mana, I would be like, okay, you know, it's decent. But this is 2 mana. 2 mana can be pretty steep, especially if you're not getting, you know, mana into your hand very easily. So, not a big fan, but I like the artwork. Artwork is pretty cool. We have Battlefield Improvisation again. We have a mountain. A Keen-Eyed Raven again. We have some more mountains here. Love the artworks on these, by the way. Here's another really good card. It's Surtur Fury Jotun for 5 mana. It's a legendary creature. It's considered a god. And then it has Trample. So again, it's going to do, you know, it's going to do the damage to both the opponent's creature and the opponent. And then whenever you cast a historic spell, this guy deals 3 damage to any target, whether that's artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Whatever's historic, which historic is what I was talking to you guys about earlier, of what I'm building my Ezio deck based on. So this might be a good card to add to that deck. We'll have to see. He's also a 5/5, so you pay 5, you get 5/5, which is kind of but yeah. Pretty cool card. I don't think it's his foil, but still, pretty nice artwork. I think he's kind of cool. I don't remember him in any of the games, though. I think he was in Odyssey, but I think he was a DLC, and I just never played that because I literally gave up on that game. I just didn't like the RPG aspect. It was just too big of a world. It really was. I preferred when Assassin's Creed had limits, like Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Syndicate are my top 2 favorite games in the series, so I love them. Brotherhood is amazing. Revelations is amazing. I did not like Black Flag. I liked Unity. So I'm all over the place with the AC games, but here's another Towering Viewpoint. We have another Plains. Here we have an Arbaz Mirror. So for 2 mana, it's a legendary creature with 2/2. Whenever he or another non-token historic permanent enters the battlefield under your control, Arbaz Mirror deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. So, I mean, you're gaining life, but it's only 1 life. I feel like he would be a good commander because you could utilize that. But I don't know. As just a random card, he's not going to do much. But still cool, nevertheless. We got another plane here, a Settlement Blacksmith, another Hookblade, a Fire Mountain Head Splitter, again, Plains, another Mountain, Labyrinth Adversary again, like that artwork. We have a Mountain, Plains, and then we have Keen-Eyed Raven again, and then we have our tokens. And then we have the treasure tokens on the back as well. So that is the deck that comes in the starter deck, other than there's another deck, but I kind of modified that a little bit because those cards I'm using in my personal commander deck that I'm building. But I kind of want to just show you guys this deck, come back on the channel, show you, talk to you about what I'm trying to do, let you know that I didn't forget about the channel because it's been a hot minute. There should be some cool stuff coming up on the channel. Just be patient and everything will be Gucci. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider smashing the like button, comment, and subscribing. I love, talking with everybody that watches my videos. It's always fun interacting with people. If you have a deck you want me to try out, or if you just want to talk Magic, let me know, hit me up. And let's start playing some Magic, guys. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace.